Welcome to the show. Please raise roadside service. It is 7:15 a.m. Still nice and early, not too early. Uh guess what? My fuel filters are plugged up again. Well, not quite all the way plugged up. We're I started moving yesterday. I got offloaded and I made it back, and as I was coming up into Kansas from Oklahoma, the truck started derating again. And I decided to go ahead and just keep pushing it because there's nothing I can do. I could either pull over on well, not even pull over, you just stop in the road because there's no shoulder, or just keep going. So, and I kept going, I was able to keep my speed up for a little bit, not bad. And then I pulled over here, I-35, and whatever the road this is, exit 4, whatever. There's a truck stop here that I decided to stop at, and turns out there's a truck repair shop next door. So I called them up and I said, "Hey, can you guys swap out a couple of fuel filters for me real quick?" They said, "Oh, sure, we'll have somebody here within an hour to do it for you." I said, "Perfect. That sounds good to me." So I kind of went over to the truck stop and started eating some food, just waiting along. And then they called me and said, "Hey, we need you to come over here. We need some more information." So I went over there, and they're like, the fuel filter number that you gave us is too many numbers. That ain't right." I'm like, "Well, I'll," and I showed them the picture. I'm like, "The picture's got all those same numbers on it. So I don't know what you're talking about, but that is the fuel filter, and that is the part number. What the hell?" Like, "I don't know what else to give you." She's like, "Oh, that's interesting." And then I went back over to the truck stop to kind of just hang out because they have a table and chairs on the inside. And then they wanted me to come on over. What are you flashing me for? You're flashing me to come over, but then you're like slamming on your brakes when I start to come over. Like, quit flashing. That's why I don't flash my lights, to let truckers know anything. I'll flash my lights and it's usually for oncoming traffic, to let them know if there's something up ahead that I just passed. That's about the only time I'm flashing my lights. If I see a state trooper, hey, you're gonna have to fucking figure them out on your own, like I did. If you want to come over to my lane, you need to know how to fucking drive. Is what I'm saying. I'm not gonna flash you. You're gonna pull up. You're gonna give me ample distance, and then you're gonna merge in. Okay, I ain't flashing my lights because what if I don't like? What if I don't want you to pull in there? What is the signal for? Don't do it. You would think flashing your lights is like, yeah, okay, pull in. If I don't have a signal for it, don't pull in. Maybe a little car or motorcycle swung in here, and as you're coming over, and you don't even notice it. Am I supposed to flash my lights at you? And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming over, bud." I don't know what the fucking signal is. I don't like it. I don't like to be flashed over. I like to, because I pass people, and I mean, honestly, it's okay. It's okay if you want to flash me and say, "Hey, come on over into my lane." But I give way more distance than what you guys are flashing for. Like, I'll be driving, I'll be passing a guy, he'll flash me, and I'll just keep driving in the fast lane because there's nobody behind me, nobody ahead of me. No reason I need to immediately take the slow lane. There's no reason to immediately take the slow lane. I'm going to give you about 3 to 4 truck lengths before I start merging over, just because I think that's more courteous than anything else. Like, I just passed a guy. here currently right now. That's probably 2 truck lengths. That's probably 3. Nobody behind me. Put my blinker on, and I slowly start to come over. And now he has no issue, and that's what I do what I want. I want people, whenever they're coming up next to me, don't just fucking come on over. Right as soon as you clear my bumper, don't start coming over. I don't like that. Because you never know. Then my vision is completely blocked out. If for some reason you slam on the brakes, I can't even see your fucking taillights, you stupid bitch. The worst one, I wouldn't say the worst one, but one of the bad ones is whenever you're coming on the highway and my truck runs fucking hot, okay? My truck's fast. And people get over to let you in, which is nice. They're supposed to. And then it's a race. And it's like, it takes me a little bit to get up to speed, but I'm going to go faster than you. So a lot of times I let off. I sandbag it. I let him get over. Everybody's happy with the exchange of trucks and lanes. And then immediately I pop back into the fast lane and I'm fucking booking it. And that's how you're supposed to do it. But these guys, I don't know. Like, oh, I'll just let you in. It's like, yeah, well, I'm faster than you, fuckhead. So I'm fucking rolling. Did I already say where I stayed last night? I stayed at a Motel 6. Did they leave the light on for me? No, they didn't. Those motherfuckers. I had to stumble around in that bitch looking for the goddamn switch. I almost got electrocuted because they got shit. There's a plug outlet with the fucking switch to turn the lights on. I almost touched one of them fucking. It was not good. The room was clean. I will say that. The room was clean. The toilet was really fucking low. I don't know what that's about. The toilet, I felt like I was doing squats on that fucking toilet. Hey, pretty comfortable to take a shit that way, but really hard to get my fat ass up. I'm like, all right, my knees are now locked. I'm going to have to grab on this towel that's hooked to the wall here to shimmy my way up to get my ass off this fucking low ass toilet. And then I'm standing there. So I still had my pants on at this point in time because as soon as I got to the hotel, I had to take a shit. Pull my pants up, hit the toilet. Dude, that thing's got a hair trigger on it. The toilet, hair trigger. That thing's a goddamn jet engine. You go, I was like, holy shit. Later, I had to get up to pee in the night. And I pee, and then I totally forgot the hair trigger situation. You barely fucking tap the handle, and it fucking turns out it is like a jet engine, and don't stand behind a jet engine, okay? Because it splashed me. I mean, my legs, my knees, and lower were fucking covered in fucking water. I mean, not covered in water, but I felt the whole spray, and it was like pee water. There's no way that was clean water that was, replacing the pee water with. That was straight up pee water, just fucking blasted my legs. I'm like, what the fuck? You got to stand to the side of this bitch to flush it. Or grab the curtain rod and fucking hit it while you're standing outside the bathroom. Holy shit. I was wondering why the wall was all yellow in front of it. It's like it looks like somebody been rubbing up against it a bunch. No, that's fucking the water pressure has been blasting the plaster off the wall. I don't know what the hell's going on. I did not want to stay. I said I'm excited for tonight because I'm going to stay at a Holiday Inn. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to stay at the Holiday Inn. They always have rooms available. I booked a room. I was headed there. I was only 30 to 40 minutes away from my Holiday Inn. I decided to stop there to see if I could get my truck fixed. I was running out of time. They made me sit there and run out of time. Because I was like, okay, an hour, I think I can do that. And then changing the filters, realistically, that only takes like 10 to 15 minutes to do. So as soon as somebody shows up, they can get it done, and I can still make it to my fucking hotel. No, I sat there for an hour and a half waiting for the fucking fat bitch ass motherfucker to show up. He comes over, he's all banging on my door and shit, trying to get fucking the information off my truck and shit. And then he's gone for another like 20 minutes. He comes back. He's like, good news or bad news? I'm like, bad news? He's like, we don't have any of the parts for you. I said, well, that's not good. Like, how have I been sitting here for 2 hours and you just now found out that the parts that go to my truck, even though the first thing I did when I talked to you motherfuckers was tell you the part numbers. You couldn't look in the back. You couldn't look to see if they're in. Because you would have said, oh, we don't have them. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to fucking try to push my luck and drive another half hour north to the actual dealership. Not dealership. There's a Kenworth truck stop or Kenworth fucking service station up here in Wichita. I can just drive there. But I'm going to drive there in a D-rate situation. But it's not that far. So it'll be fine. No, they made me sit there. So I had to cancel my fucking Holiday Inn in Wichita because I wasn't going to make it. And I had to, there just happened to be a Motel 6 right there. They have a restaurant and a Motel 6 combined. I've eaten at the restaurant. It was weird. Don't know what episode that was. I would say less than 100. One of those episodes I ate at that restaurant. And, I don't know, I think I was actually impressed with it, maybe. I was not expecting much, and I got more than expected. So that's a win in my book. But yeah, I don't know. I had to stay at the fucking Motel 6. It wasn't that bad. I've definitely had worse. I mean, nobody was slamming doors or anything, but I did note I didn't see anybody else, but I heard them. I heard people. They got either the insulation in them walls is so fucking little, or people are loud as fuck. Everybody has their TV cranked up. And then I passed a room. I don't know what ethnicity was in the room, but there was a mariachi band blaring. And that was the room across from me. Don't know who was in there doing that, but it was so goddamn loud. I was like, holy shit. And then there was another room kind of next to me, and I think they were younger people. I don't know. I think this is like they stay at the Motel 6 all the time. Maybe. I don't know. Just making assumptions here. I could hear them kicking people out of the room and then them banging on the door again. And I'm like, guys, hey, guys, I turned all my lights off. I was like, I don't want people banging on my door. And at first, when I first heard the banging on the door, I thought maybe it's just somebody banging on random doors. Because that's what, I feel like that does happen here. People just go bang on random doors. I doubt there's security cameras anywhere. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Somebody could take you out back, like 3 feet into the fucking brush, murder you, and you won't be found for a few years. They won't even look back there. The cops will come. They'll be like, he's probably not back there. We're probably not going to look. Like, well, there's something that smells really bad over there. Like, yeah, it's probably dirty diapers. We're not going over there. We're not going to look behind the Motel 6 for a dead body. We don't know where he's at. He's missing. He probably went down to Argentina or something. I don't know. The detectives would make up some fucking crazy story like he was a drug dealer. He's living in Argentina. He's got a second family. We know all this, you know. And meanwhile, I'm just like dead 4 feet away in the fucking bushes because I decided to answer my door at the Motel 6 when somebody's banging on it. Who would ever answer a door if somebody's banging on your door at a Motel 6? Are you going to open the fucking door? Are you even going to look out the window? I'm going to act like I'm not even fucking there. They're probably trying to steal valuables, but if they think nobody's in that room, there's no valuables in there unless they're trying to steal the Vizio or the fucking microwave or some shit. I don't know who would want to do that, but hey, times are tough. People might steal that shit. Anyways, I don't have much valuable shit on me. I have a $200 headset. I have some JBL earbuds. I have a tablet, iPad tablet with a keyboard. I don't have anything valuable on me. I have a wallet that's I still have some bonus money in it and a credit card. I don't have anything valuable. I've got prescription sunglasses. I don't have anything valuable on me. I've got a backpack that I bought off of Amazon for $12. It's got a hole in it. Not valuable. I've got a brand new bottle of omeprazole, heartburn medication. That's not valuable. What else do I have that's not valuable? An intrinsically safe flashlight. Not valuable. What else do I have that's not valuable? My boots. I probably paid $250 for these boots 4 years ago. I'm wearing my slip-on boots. These boots, I love these fucking boots. They've lasted so long. The longest lasting boots I've ever had. Ever. Are these. I think they're Durangos. They're square steel toe slip-ons. I love them. They're great. What else do I have that's not valuable? A roll of Skull Long Cut Straight. I will fucking fight to the goddamn death. If somebody tries to take my fucking Skull Straight, I'll be like, I have to beat the fuck out of you. I would rather buy you a 5-can roll of Skull Straight from the truck stop over here and give it to you than you take this one. Because the one over there is probably close to expiring and it's going to be all dry as fuck. The one I've got in my bag here, that one had to have been made within a few weeks. Because the store that I buy my skull from, I keep their stock rotating. I get the freshest skull, long cut straight on the planet. I do. You're not taking the fresh one. I'll buy you a fucking dry rotted one out of the fucking truck stop over there. I would rather be a naked man walking along I-35 with a can of skull or a roll of skull long cut straight and have everything stripped from me. How about you can take every fucking thing you want from me? I'm keeping the log. The log of skull straight, that's mine. Yeah, cell phone, yeah, I would like to have it. I would not like to give it to you. You can have it. My underwear, it's got holes in it, but if you want it, you got it, bud. You can have it. I will walk butt naked to Wichita. As long as I got my skull on go straight. That's the one thing I'll fight for. I don't think I have anything else I'd fight for in here. I don't know. My coffee right now, I mean, it's not that great. I wouldn't fight too far. I'd say, hey, I would fight you for that coffee. But I'd also, I would give up. I'd have to focus on the skull. I don't know. It actually is kind of good. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, baby, we're rolling. Uh, Trying to think of what else happened throughout the day. They got me offloaded pretty fucking quick yesterday. Showed up right on fucking time. They got me offloaded. Everything went great. I even had time to stop and grab some uh, pizza burrito things and a 5-hour energy that did not work. I was still like, usually those things, you drink them, give it 2 minutes, and then you're ripped and ready to go. That one, I was still yawning the whole time. Last night, I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't know why, but Queso, hey, my boy Queso, uh, put up his third stream of RV There Yet. It's the video game, the RV video game that he's been playing. It is the best. It's the best. I don't know. If you guys are ever bored and you're like, there's nothing to watch, just search Queso and start watching some of his clips. Then you might get hooked like I am. I'm just hooked on this guy, and it's so cool that me and my son are both love Queso, and we can sit and we can watch streams because you know his attention span and my attention span, they're not very high. You know, you just want to scroll. You want to see what's on the next video. Um, but me and him can actually sit and watch Queso for a while. Um, I, so the way my job is going here, I think I'm going to be able to make it to trick or treating. And hey, I mean, I told my boss. I said, hey, if the truck is running really good in the morning, I'm going to see how far I can push it. And so far, so good. 75 miles an hour, full power. No D-rate. I do have an engine light, but we're rolling. We're doing great. So I'm going to try to push it all the way back to Kansas City and swap into a new tractor. He said he's got another tractor opened up. I think it's a 12-speed. It's an automatic, but it's a 12-speed automatic, and if it's the truck I'm thinking about, it's a dog, but I'm going to, it'll work. It'll do the job. So I'm going to try to make it all the way back to Kansas City with no problems. Swap out tractors because, I mean, I was telling my boss last night, he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Another fuel filter? I'm like, brother, I don't know, man. The truck keeps derating on me. I don't know what's going on. I was like, I can pull over, shut off the batteries for a few minutes, and then it might be fine again. But also, the one time I had to get the fuel filters changed, as I was pulling into the Kenworth service station, the truck fucking died. It ran, it starved, it got so clogged up that it starved itself of fuel, and it would not refire until I got the fuel filters swapped. So, like, I'm going to push it, but this also might mean I'm going to need to get a tow, or you guys are going to need to go on a little trip and meet me on the side of the highway somewhere. And if you do that, have the mechanic just drive me a day cab with the parts that he needs, do a fuel filter swap on the truck that I'm in, unhook the trailer, he takes off and heads back to Kansas City. I can hook up the new day cab and run over and get loaded so I can, and today, that's my only plan today. Today's going to be a normal Thursday, except I'm not starting in Kansas City. I'm starting in Wichita. I'm not even in Wichita yet. I'm on my way there. But it's going to be basically a normal Thursday. I don't think I'm going to have any problems. I also have not signed into the truck yet, which is, I totally forgot to sign in. Let's sign in real quick. I was wanting to check my... Okay, cannot log in while truck is moving. Okay, I can't even log in. It doesn't even know what truck I'm in. That's the weird thing. This electronic login device is. I'm not logged into a truck. I'm completely logged out of a truck and signed out and everything. And it's like, oh, please stop and log in. What if I'm sitting in the passenger seat and somebody else is driving? Can't even look at my logs. Can't do anything. I could pull over right here, but I'm not. It ain't worth it. I could just accept the logs. It's recording, obviously, so I'll just accept the logs once I get to where I'm going. Unless I get pulled over. If I get pulled over, I gotta hurry up and log in and accept some shit. But we're not getting pulled over. We're gonna be fine. I posted up some stuff on the Facebook group. I posted up my Days In experience. You guys can see that. I also posted up some monster trucks, and that's at this shop that I was about to use to swap out my fuel filters. I've seen him several times, but I've never stopped and walked up to him, but I happened to be right there, so I took a couple pictures. Turns out that one square body is a 79 or an 80 because of the headlight bezels. That thing is badass. It looks fucking sweet. I love it. And it's still got all the air in the tires. And then there's that old, Ford, is it a Ford? I forget what it was. The other old truck. Is it a Ford or a Dodge? I forget. I didn't even look at it, really. I just took a picture and fucking went on with my life. I was too in love with the fucking square body monster truck. And then they have a carport next to that. I didn't get a picture of it, but there's an IROC Z sitting underneath that carport. I was like, ooh, I like that. Apparently, it's Strickland Tow, Strickland Roadside Service or whatever. I'm like, hey, I run a roadside service business too. They're like, really? I was like, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I didn't even want to. I don't know. I don't promote my shit to like anybody, except for like on Facebook and stuff. I want to get random people. I don't want to get people that I might actually run into. I don't know. It weirds me out. Even with like my buddies and stuff, we'll start talking, or people will comment and talk to me, and it's just so weird that you guys are hearing everything. It makes sense because I'm doing this, but it's weird to be like, oh, like a lot of people are hearing what I'm saying. They're listening. They're actually taking in the knowledge, whatever knowledge that may be. And it's like, now I have nothing to say to these people. So, I mean, with my buddy Luke, we always have something to talk about. And with other people, we always have something to talk about. But it's like, if I covered it in a podcast, I can't even talk about it with nobody. Because it's like, I already said everything I would ever want to say about it. And you guys have already heard it. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. And I guess that's where I'm going to give Joe Rogan a little bit of leeway, because it is really funny whenever he gets on there with every guest, every single guest, and like the last 10 guests, he's like, have you heard the 50 Cent AI song? It's so good. And it's like, as a listener, yes, we've heard it. We've listened to it. We've heard you explain it 10 times recently. Give it a break, man. But if you're putting yourself in his shoes as a podcaster or whatever, it's like, yeah, I don't know. If I have a guest on, I might repeat some of the same shit that I've already said on the podcast. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Kind of weird. You gotta. I don't know. I don't know. I always have something to say. I put out a fucking hour every day. I have shit to fucking say. I have new shit to say, no matter what. Give me a topic. Maybe that's what you guys could do in the comments section. Just give me a topic, and I'll try to hit them all. Because I don't think I'm going to get a billion fucking comments. Just leave comments with a topic. Say boats. Say trees. I don't know. Just leave comments, and I'll try to think about a topic with those comments. And maybe that'd be a cool thing to do. We don't really do too much on the Kletus Race Roadside Service other than like other podcasts. But like for fan engagement, it ain't there. You guys just listen, which is great. I like it. The podcast is growing, and we're not in dangerous territory yet, but it's getting bigger, and don't let it get too big. That's what I'm saying. Don't let it get too big. I will jet this motherfucker. I'll be like, I ain't doing it no more. I'm done. Retired. So don't let it get too big. Don't tell your friends. Don't share this podcast. Don't go talking to nobody. Keep it small. Okay? It's going to freak me the fuck out. If I have like 1,000 listeners, I'm going to freak the fuck out. I will freak the fuck out. I will lose my goddamn mind. Keep it small, motherfuckers. This is a hobby. This ain't no job. I don't think I could ever do this as a job. I have to be driving. I have to have a job with shit happening to make this happen. It's weird to me that that's their job, is podcasting. It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess they always have other shit going on, but they could survive on podcast revenue, ad revenue, and all that other shit. That's weird. It's like, all right, what are we doing here? Because I don't think I'm going to perform in a studio. I guess let's just imagine my life changed to where the podcast grew substantially. I didn't run away. I was able to just quit my job and do whatever the fuck I wanted. I would probably just become a hotshot. If I had a lot of money, I'd probably just become a hotshot and be able to choose my own loads and just podcast about it. That's what that would probably be kind of pretty ideal. Is just to become a hot shot podcaster that I'm a podcaster, a hot shotting on the side is what it would end up being. And I would decline, even though loads would pay decent. I would be able to say, no, I'm not doing that. I want something interesting. I want to haul the exquisite shit. But I was also watching another video of this guy. He's kind of a weirdo, but he's a hot shot, a semi hot shotter. And he ran into a pickup hot shotter, and they were just like comparing. They're like, oh yeah, why do you use the pickup and not a semi and stuff? And he's like, well, you guys have to pay for your insurance is outrageous. You got fees and all kinds of shit, and you blow out a tire, it's way more expensive and stuff. And I'm like, all right. So if I'm not a rich man and I wanted to become a hot shot, a pickup truck is where you should just kind of get to and stay, maybe. What kind of pickup would you have for a hot shot? Hot shot pickup. Honestly, it cringes me that I would probably choose a Ford. I don't want to. I don't want it to be a Ford. I think every other truck is way more comfortable than a Ford F-250, F-350, F-450. I mean, they're all the same fucking thing. I think I'm not comfortable in a Ford, but I think they're pretty goddamn reliable. There's a billion of them out there. I don't like that they're made out of aluminum. They ride like shit, but it's just like it would make the most sense. It would probably be the cheap option and the better option is to run a Ford. Just because I don't know, even though I do love Chevy nowadays, I think Ford is a better work truck than Chevy. Dodge, I don't know about Dodge. I don't know. I just don't know. I think you're going to be broke down a lot in a Dodge. Honestly, I think you're going to be broke down a lot in a Dodge and a Chevy. I think a Ford is going to be your better bet. Um, Now, if I could have the best truck, like my perfect truck in my mind, well, I don't know. I don't know much about diesel engines and shit. So, but a lot of people they want to do a Cummins swapped Chevy truck or whatever. If I had a billion, or if I had a video game, a hot shot in video game where you could do engine swaps and stuff, it would probably be a crew cab square body with a Cummins uh, and a 40 foot gooseneck triaxle. That would be pretty cool, I guess, maybe. Yeah, I think that would be it. And the crew cab square body, it would also have that little bump out cab, so I could make it into a sleeper. But I don't know. I guess if I'm a rich motherfucker, I would stay at hotels and shit. I would if I was doing it as a hobby, I ain't sleeping in no fucking truck. I'm sleeping in a goddamn Holiday Inn for sure. um, but if I wasn't a rich man and I was able to get everything, I could, get that little bump out cab. They have them. I've seen them. They do it on all kinds of trucks, but it's like a camper shell, but it's only like a foot and a half wide or whatever, and you can gut the inside of the square body and make it to your own like little sleeper cab or whatever. It'd be like a mini sleeper cab. Um, but ideally, you would use a semi. But yeah, that comes with a lot more rules, regulations, and money. It would be a semi. Get a get an old Peterbilt, long nosed Pete with a sleeper. That would be nice. I could sleep in something like that. You have like a full queen size mattress in that bitch. Fridge, 48-inch TV, which is probably way too big to be 4 feet away from it, but big ass TV. You got a computer in there, so you can play video games. You got PS4, well, no, PS5. Got that in there, and I I don't know. I've never rode with a dog, but if I had a sleeper cab, I'd probably have a dog. I'd probably grab one of my doggies and run around with them. I love my dogs. We haven't talked about dogs in a while. So, I've had several dogs over the years. Currently, I've got Murphy. He's the oldest. I'm trying to think how old he is. He's 12, maybe 11, 12, right around there. I should know it. I could find out. I'm not gonna. He's old. He's a little Chihuahua mixed with a Yorkie. He's annoying as fuck. but he's a snuggle bug. I love him. But in the mornings, as soon as he sees your foot come out of the bedroom, it's like, hey, it is 4 a.m. Shut the fuck up. Quit barking. I'm coming to you. I'm going to let you out. And you let him out. And this little fucking bitch is like, it's too cold. And he just sits there and barks at the back door. As soon as you let him out, as soon as you walk to go down, because our bedroom, my wife has so many clothes and stuff, and a vanity and shit. I keep my dresser and all of my clothes downstairs right next to the laundry room, and it's efficient. So anyways, I got to go all the way downstairs to grab like new clothes and pack up and stuff. And as soon as I get down to the bottom of the stairs, it just bark city. He's going fucking ape shit over there, and I'm like, God damn it! You're gonna wake up the kids, you're gonna wake up the wife, you're gonna wake up the neighbors. You're just being loud as fuck. Yorkie, shut the fuck up! I love you. We cuddle. I love to pet him. He's a great boy. He just, in the mornings, he's a terror. And then I've got Winnie, which is some sort of a pug thing. She looks like a little bit of an overcooked TaterTot. I don't know. She's like a long tot dog. I don't know. She's got to be part dachshund or something. She's like a long, short little dog, and I don't know how old she is. She's 7-ish. And she's good. She's a good girl. She does chew up some shit sometimes, but that's just because the kids leave shit out all over the place. And she's a good girl. She's a thick girl. A thick, and she will just jump right on your nutsack. There's no warning. There's no way to prepare. She's just like a 20-pound burrito just jumping right on your ball sack with legs, But I love her. She's a good girl. I love her. She's also another cuddle bug. They compete to be cuddle bugs, so you can't never cuddle one for too long, which sucks, but it's okay. That's the way it is. And then we've got Luna, which Luna is a dog we just got recently. She is almost 1 year old. We've had her for almost 6 months. A guy at work got her as a puppy, started raising her, got attention from the park manager for where they live, and they said, get that dog out of here. You're not allowed to have it. So he just called up a couple of people at work, and I said, yeah, I'll take it. And I immediately showed up, grabbed the dog. But I was still doing this run, and you can go back and find the podcast about when I got the dog. I think I don't know what the podcast name is, but it was probably 60, 70 episodes ago, maybe not that far ago. I don't know. Anyways, I was doing this job at that point in time, so I was out of town quite a bit. So I got the dog. I didn't even see the dog really. Like, I didn't pet the dog and didn't go meet the dog. I was loading up all the shit because they bought so much shit for the dog. So I was loading up the truck, or my wife's old car. I was loading up my wife's old car with all of this shit, and then got the dog in, and then we had to get going because we were kind of, it was the opposite way of home from my shop. And then I got home, let the dog, she was skittish as fuck. She did not want to be around any of us. And then I went out of town. And then I came back from out of town, and she was like warmed up to everybody else in the house. She didn't know who the fuck I was, so it was kind of awkward. But now I'm daddy. She loves me. I love her. She is just so wound up all the time. Like, you can't pet the dog. She is, if you touch the dog, she is doing zoomies, running around, jumping through your legs, knocking over the kids. You know, she's fucking crazy. But it's really exciting. You let her out back. She has a very worn path in the backyard. She just runs all the time. You open the back door to let her out, she goes straight to the path and runs for an hour. She'll just be running up and down the fence, just no stopping. I'm like, I don't know what we can do to help this dog lose some of the energy, because that's insane. There's no walking the dog enough to get her to use that much energy. I mean, maybe go to the park and throw a ball. She's not much of a fetcher. She'll run, sniff the ball, and then run back to you and is like, hey, get the ball. You know, maybe I need to teach her how to do fetch. I don't know. I feel like dogs are just supposed to know how to do that. And Rusty, my old dog, the dog that I had pretty recently that I ended up having him put down, he had cancer. He knew how to do fetch. He was about the only dog I've ever had that would do fetch. But he had a thing where he would only do it a couple of times. And then he would, I don't know, he would start licking his chest. I was like, well, I don't know what is going on with him. But if he runs, if he uses too much energy, he has to stop and like lick his chest. It was weird. I don't know. It's like, are you in pain? I don't know what's going on here. But he was a really good dog for a long time. And now he gone. And I had another dog, Chevy. He was a great. Oh, Rusty was a boxer lab, by the way. He's a big boy. Great Pyrenees. I had Chevy. He was a puppy. Both Rusty and Chevy. Rusty Chevy, you know. They were puppies together, basically. Rusty was a little bit older, but Chevy. And I taught them both. This was back before I was married, before everything. I had both of these dogs, and I spent time training these dogs. Rusty picked up almost every single thing I taught him to do. Chevy didn't pick up one. He didn't pick up anything. He thought he was hot shit. He didn't have to learn anything. He was a great dog. I loved him so much. He was a big cuddle bear. He was constantly a lap dog. There was nothing you could do to get him to not get on your lap, you know, because he was like 120 pounds. He was a big ass dog. Rusty was like 90. They're both roughly the same height, but Chevy was just fucking beast. And I don't know. I don't really like to talk about it, but anyways, I will. He got aggressive. I don't know if he ended up getting some sort of disease or what, but he started getting really aggressive towards my other dog, Rusty. They used to get in fights all the time. I had them fixed when they were probably 2 or 3 years old, and then the fighting stopped. As they used to fight all the fucking time. They're trying to fight for dominance or whatever. Rusty never wanted to be the dominant one anyways. Rusty was always like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want. He's like, I will beat your ass. He's like, do what you want, Chevy. I don't give a shit. And Chevy's like, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you. It's like, Rusty's like, we don't have to fight. We can just be brothers. You can be the dominant one. That's fine. But no, Chevy just had to always consistently assert dominance over Rusty. And I would have to constantly assert dominance over Chevy. Rusty, I didn't have to do shit with Rusty. He was always a good boy. But Chevy, I had to pin that motherfucker, that big, strong, beastly dog. I had to fucking pin his ass down all the time. Just to, not because he was being aggressive. I just had to make sure he knew I'm dad. You're not the fucking boss here. I'm the fucking boss. So he was always good with me and the wife and the kids. But him and Rusty, they started. I don't know if it was a disease. That's what's weird. Everything was great for a long time, and then one day I was outside of flying a drone. I had I had a drone. I don't know. I just have a drone thing. It takes pictures. It doesn't do videos or anything. But I had this little drone thing, and I had my son outside. He was probably 2, maybe 3, and we're flying it. And I'm bringing it in the yard, and I'm bringing it down, and the dogs are just going haywire. They're having a great time. They're trying to jump and grab the drone. And then, so maybe I caused it. I don't know. But they got into a big fucking fight right there in the yard, and it was scary. I had to get them separated because Rusty was not trying to fight anybody. Chevy was trying to kill him. So I had to get them separated. Got them separated. Kept them separated for a day. Gave them both baths because they were both covered in blood. Checked out their wounds and stuff, and got them and made sure everything was going to be fine. But before I could even think about like going to a vet for something like that, I got them back together. They were both calm all day. There was tension, but they were calm. And then my wife got home. And when she opened up the front door, it just blasted off again. I don't know what it wasn't because of her. It was just because something happened in the house, and they were going at it in the living room. And I had to I had to get them separated again. And with the power and the ferociousness of Chevy, I said, that's it. Because if he decided to use that against me, I'm going down. If he decided to use that against anybody else, they're going down. There's not going to be anything left. That's the end of it. So I said, I can't be out of town working. I can't be out of the house. I have to keep an eye on that dog. So I had him put down, which really sucked. Really, really fucking sucked. That tore me up. I mean, Rusty really tore me up too. But it was like he's sick and he was just such a good boy. And then Chevy, he was also a good boy, but I was like, if you decide to attack one of the kids, I would never be able to let that down. I said, you know what? You got to go, bud. And it was such a hard decision. I thought about, maybe giving him up to somebody, but he was so powerful, and I had him since he was a 8-week puppy. He was such a, this was anything and everything he ever knew was out of this house, or with this family at least. And I said, we're gonna go ahead. I gave him one really good day. One perfect day. He got anything and everything he ever wanted. Lots of pets, lots of rubs, lots of playing by himself because I couldn't have him next to Rusty at all. And then took him to the clinic and had him put down. Poor guy, It's like, dude, if you just didn't get aggressive like that, and it all happened so fast, like 3 days before, everything was normal, and then that happened. And then Rusty, that was also kind of the same thing. He was being a good boy. There's nothing. My wife said that he was acting weird. I showed up at home, and he was acting fine. And then I saw him laying on the ground, and he looked like he was pregnant. He's a boy dog. He don't get pregnant. So I said, oh, that's not right. Like, he is fat. Like, what's going on here? So I took him in, and they did the scans and everything, and they said, he's got a very large tumor. it's probably cancer. Honestly, we can go through the whole process. You're looking at spending $10,000 to get, if he does have cancer and to get it all removed and everything. You're looking at a lot of money, and I hate to put money towards it, as part of the justification. But they were like, these are dog surgeons, they're gonna do what they can, but they're probably not going to get it all out. We don't have a very good success rate with this. So they suggested putting him down, and I agreed. Whatever. Um, and I wanted him to be put down before he started getting in real pain, and we were pretty sure he was close to doing that, because I was like, oh, maybe he's just blocked up and he needs to take a shit or something. No, they're like, no, I mean, taking a shit would relieve some pain, but there's still that giant mass in there that you're going to need to remove somehow. But anyways, doggies. I did have another one named Gizmo. I stole it from, I was talking about these people the other day, my wife's friends, or we used to go hang out with the cat. They had a dog, too, in the laundry room. And we would go over to their house, and it was just a little Pomeranian that they got from her grandma when she passed away. And this dog was covered in shit. Like, it's a long-haired dog, and it's just covered in shit all the fucking time. And we would go over there, and I'm like, hey, can I let your dog out? And they're like, no, it'll run away. I'm like, I don't think so. So I would let the dog out, put it on the leash, walk it around, let it piss and shit outside, because they just had this thing pissing and shitting on itself. And then it was sitting in there, it was eating its own shit because they would forget to feed it. And I'm like, you guys are the worst fucking people I could ever fucking know. You guys are great friends, but the way you're treating this fucking dog is wrong. They're like, it's a fucking dog, it's old. I'm like, I'm taking this dog. And I took the fucking dog. Like, we didn't even want that dog, really, anyways. We just had to have it because of my grandma. I said, I'm taking the fucking dog. I gave him $100 just to make it more copacetic or whatever. But I just straight up took the fucking dog. They said, do you want any of this stuff? I said, no, I don't want any of this fucking bullshit you've got for this dog's getting all new shit. Took him straight to the groomers. Well, I tried to give him a bath first, and that didn't work out too well. Took him straight to the groomers, basically. Got him cleaned up. Got him eating, normal food, not shit. And he was a great dog. I loved him. He was a cutie, but he would still eat shit. That was the weird thing. He was so used to eating shit for so long that you would let him outside and you'd catch him, and he'd come inside, and you're like, what do you have in your mouth? And you're like, oh, you're back to eating shit. What the fuck, dude? Like, you have a bowl of food right here. So yeah, poor little dog. But I got it. I think I did a really good deed right there. I got the dog fixed up and good in a happy home with other dogs, where he was just a good old boy. My wife was never a real big fan of him, but she understood we had to take the dog. So anyway, she started looking for other people that might be interested in a dog, kind of behind my back, but whatever, it's fine. It was an unexpected dog. It was more like just a rescue mission. I had to get this dog out of that situation. And she ended up finding another home. We went over to the home and checked it out to make sure this lady isn't fucking scamming us, or, I don't know. Sometimes you can't give dogs away for free, because no matter what it looks like on the surface, a lot of people, criminals are smart. And they're like, hey, just like they tell their girlfriends, or, and this is just hypothetical, but it could be true. Could be very true. A guy has a dog fighting ring. or whatever, which is fucking disgusting. But they do. They are out there for real. They got somebody that doesn't give a fuck about anybody, and they go out and they look for free dogs. They either steal dogs out of backyards or they find free dogs on the internet. They got to put on a good face. They get the dogs, and then they use those as bait to make the dogs more angry. It's fucking horrible. So anyways, don't give your dogs away for free unless you go and see where the dog's going to be and whatnot, you know. And anyways, we found a really nice old couple that already had 2 dogs. One of them already was named Gizmo, so it was kind of awkward. They have 2 Gizmos, and they look exactly the same. But anyways, we gave that dog up to another home, and that was for the better. And then those fucking people that had the dog, guess what? They got another dog. They got a little black lab puppy. And then they decided they were going to split up, the man and the wife. And they ended up giving the dog to a trucker at a truck stop. They just went to the truck stop and knocked on doors until somebody would accept this dog. I was like, what? You know that we would take the dog. Why would you not just come over to somebody that knows that we'll take the dog? We shouldn't have been friends with these people, but we were. Anyways, they got rid of that dog. And that dog was also not really having a great time at their house, but it was still like their fresh new puppy. Everybody was giving it lots of attention at the time. But it was just a matter of time before that dog ended up being in the same situation as Gizmo. And I was like, I cannot believe that we took the dog from you to relieve you of that burden, and then you get another fucking dog. Then you get rid of that dog, and you don't even offer us the dog. You just take it to a random person at a truck stop. Then they get back together and they get another dog. I think it was like a Dalmatian-ish type dog. I don't know. It had a bunch of spots on it. And they didn't even tell us about that dog. We just went over to their house, and they have a fucking dog there. And I'm like, why the fuck do you have another dog? They're like, oh, we got another dog. We're together again. We got another dog. I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy. And that dog proceeded to sit in the kennel the whole time we were over there. We were over there to, like, watch a Chiefs game. And I was like, hey, I'm going to let your dog out. And they're like, no, no, he doesn't need to go out. I'm like, yeah, I'm letting him out. I'm like, you gotta let your dogs out. What the fuck are you guys doing? So I would let the dog out and play with the dog, and I was really just going over there to hang out with their dog, I guess. I don't know, but that was still like a new, fresh dog. They were still giving it attention, but whenever they had company over, that dog was locked up the whole time, and which I can understand a little bit, but you gotta let the dog out. You can't beat your dog for peeing on the carpet if you're not letting it out. Well, you shouldn't beat your dog anyways, but, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, making the dog feel like it's wrong for peeing on the carpet if it doesn't have any option. Then they split up again. I don't know what happened to that dog. And the woman ended up rescuing, is what she said, rescuing 2 pit bulls. 2 giant, mean as fuck looking pit bulls. She said, they're so sweet. I'm like, okay. I went over there because they had just split up, and she was like, I need my tire's flat and I can't make it to work. Can you come over and help me? So I went over, I pulled out her spare tire. I'm sitting on the ground trying to change the tire. And then she comes out of the door with both pit bulls. She's a little woman. She comes out with 1 pit bull on each arm. And they are like, who the fuck is in our yard? And they run up, and they are, I mean, I didn't get bit, but I was fucking afraid. I was sitting on the ground putting lug nuts on. And these 2 dogs yanked this woman right up to me And I'm like, holy fucking shit. You need to get those dogs away from me. Like, I'm not putting out positive vibes right now. You need to get the dogs away from me, you know? Like, this is not, I do not want to meet the dogs in sitting crisscross applesauce with a fucking tire, a car on the jack. You know, like, can you get them the fuck away from me? And I don't know what happened after that. She ended up moving away, and I don't know what happened to those dogs. But anyways, that's some stories for you. Anyways, I'm gonna have more shit here coming up soon. I gotta make a couple phone calls, so I'll be right back. Well, back a little sooner than expected. They did I already talk about this? I don't know. So yeah, I did, because I was sitting there and I had to go to the Motel 6 to stay because I wasn't able to make it to Wichita because they made me sit there and wait forever before they told me they didn't have the parts for my truck. And they said, oh yeah, somebody's going to come over. We're going to call you around 8 a.m. because that's when the guys get in to come grab the keys from you so we can get it going. They said, unless you get up before then, you can drive the truck over to the shop and wait over there because we gotta send somebody up to Wichita, which is half hour away, to grab the parts and then come back and then put them on. From 8. Listen, guys, it's 8:23. I'm almost to Emporia, and they still hadn't called me. I would be sitting in my hotel room wondering when the fuck is something going to happen. I would have called them probably if I was in real trouble and I needed them to fix the fucking truck, which I kind of did, but this truck seems to be running fine for right now. And oh, who are you? I'm like, I'm the guy that was there last night that was talking about fuel filters. Oh, so you don't need us? No, I don't need you. You guys are fucking. I have a deadline I have to hit. I can't sit around till 8:30. I don't know. Maybe they were going to wait till 9 to call me and figure out that I wasn't there. I don't know. But I don't have time to sit around and wait for you guys to fucking do shit. Like, this is fucking horrible. Like, you guys already fucked me up, made me stay in a goddamn Motel 6. Okay? I'm on my way. Hopefully I can just make it all the way to Kansas City. And I might be able to do it on this tank of fuel. That would be kind of cool if I don't have to stop at all. I can just shoot all the way straight. Because there's no turns, there's no stops, there's no nothing. It's just from where I am, or where I started basically, to my shop is all one road. Anyways, that fucking... I'm not going to throw them under the bus. They were going to help me out. I kind of showed up at the end of the day, out of the blue, needing parts that they don't have. There wasn't a whole lot they could do. You know, they were willing to help me out, but just, I don't know. Nobody's looking out for you like you are. So you just gotta think for yourself and do what you gotta do. Anyways, they were gonna help me out. They have cool monster trucks out front. Awesome. I like them. If you call them up, they'll come out. They'll save you off the side of the road. Show up at their doorstep. You know, I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh, damn. Alright, there is a piece of a tire. Oh, okay, he just blew a tire. I thought there was a deer in the road. Blew a damn tire. Shit. Poor guy. He's hauling shingles. And he's got a front drive axle blowout. Poor guy. And he's running super singles, too. What do you guys think about super singles? Do you like super singles? Is it more convenient? I mean, if you blow out a tire, you're supposed to stop no matter what. So it's like, okay, you know, but the truck, won't be like leaning over. So I don't know. What do you guys think about super singles? It's like, okay, it's just one tire. You're good to go. You blow out, if you got duals and you blow out a tire, you got to pull over anyways, right? There was a time I didn't. There was that time I was hauling. I hauled pumps. There was some big liquid pumps or whatever that I had that on a rollback, and I drove all the way down somewhere to, well, it wasn't that far away. It was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half one way down to this place. I dropped off the pump. I left. I stopped at the truck stop right there beside on the highway. As I was leaving, there was apparently a sign that used to be right here in the middle of the parking lot, and it's gone. It's just got the studs sticking up out of the ground. I didn't see the studs. It was dark. I ran over the studs. I blew a tire. I got a flat tire. And this was early on in my driving career, so don't hold me to the flame too much. I said, you know what? I'm going to run it. And I ran it all the way back up into Kansas City. And my boss got a phone call. 'Cause I didn't know. It was on the rear axle on the outside on the passenger side. I thought everything was fine, it's just going to roll and it'll be fine, because I just punctured a hole in it, but it was off the bead and everything. And so I'm just running. I'm like, fuck it. I got a flat tire. I don't give a shit. I'm making it home. And I make it all the way up. I was probably 20 minutes away from the shop. And my boss calls me. He's like, hey, I had somebody call me and say that you're throwing chunks of rubber off your truck. I'm like, that's weird. He's like, do you have a flat tire? I'm like, maybe. He's like, well, pull over. I'll call roadside assistance. We'll come get you. Where are you at? I was like, dude, I'm like 20 minutes from the shop. He's like, well, just park and I'll get roadside assistance out there. I sat for like 4 hours waiting on roadside assistance to come out. I still remember that guy. He was like Hispanic, blind, and deaf. He was a cool guy, though. Came out and swapped out my tire for me. He was such a nice guy. But I had to sit there for fucking ever, and then he finally got it fixed, and then I was able to run. And I'm like, I could have taken side roads or something and still made it all the way back to where I needed to be, and we could have fixed it, But I understand, you get a flat tire, you got to pull over. It's not DOT legal, but I got duals and I'm empty. There's no problems here. A couple of chunks might fly off. I'm in the slow lane. The chunks are flying off the side of the highway. Don't follow me too closely and you won't get chunks thrown at you. And don't call my fucking boss, you fucking queer. Jesus. Tattletale motherfuckers. You got a truck out here throwing rubber off the fucking... Hey, leave me alone. I'm 20 minutes away from my shop. I'll be there shortly. And, the chunks of rubber aren't going to hurt nobody. It'll be fine. Tire's staying on there. It would have been awkward for my boss to show up and be like, what the fuck? You have a flat tire? It looks like you drove on this flat tire for a long fucking time. But I did. I had 2 of them on that wheel, so I figured I could do it. That was early on in my career. I don't do that no more. I did have a blowout. It was probably with this trailer. I had a blowout, but I was rolling right into one of them towns. It was on this job, too. I was rolling in one of them towns where I was able to just roll up, say, hey, I have a flat tire. They're like, hey, we have one. They put it on, and I hit the road, and I kept going. Didn't miss a beat. Everything ended up fine. Anyways, I said I'm going to be back later. I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode because holy shit, I've already been recording for an hour and 15 minutes. So That's good enough for one episode. Maybe I'll record something else later on for the next episode. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.